We're standing in the middle of the Waddesdon Bequest in the British Museum, which is a gallery devoted to a marvellous collection of around 300 Renaissance works of art. And this piece that we're going to talk about is right at the heart of the collection. It's the most important piece in the Waddesdon Bequest, and it's probably one of the most important objects in the entire British Museum. It's known as the Holy Thorn Reliquary because it was made to hold one of the thorns, supposedly from the Crown of Thorns, which Christ wore during his passion before his crucifixion. And we know that this is what this thorn is because beneath the central compartment there is a small label in gold with an inscription in Latin, and it says, Ista est una spinea coronae Domini nostri Jesu Christi. This is a thorn from the Crown of Thorns of our Lord Jesus Christ. If you're a Christian, the Crown of Thorns as something which actually touched Christ during his passion would be an object of tremendous significance. And so using the most precious materials of gold and gems and pearls and the latest craftsmanship to make a suitable housing for it would be the right thing to do. And that's what this is about, is finding a suitable housing for an incredibly important relic. It was made in France around 1405 to 1410. Jean-Duc de Berry, who owned this piece and for whom it was made, was the son, the brother and the uncle of successive kings of France. The two panels in the base here, which are enamelled with his arms, prove that it was made for him. If you start at the top, you have God the Father, and he's holding the orb and sceptre. And there are two adoring angels around him. If you look into the central compartment, you'll see there's this magnificent sapphire, which is working as a mount for the Holy Thorn. And the Holy Thorn rises up between those figures in the centre, in front of the figure of Christ, and he's displaying the 5 wounds of his passion. And the connection with the Crown of Thorns that he actually wore is made by the little angels at the top who are holding the Crown of Thorns over his head. On either side of him, you see kneeling his mother, the Virgin Mary, and St. John the Baptist in his shaggy camel hair coat, beautifully worked in gold. And all that scene is going on a curved gold ground which would catch the light most beautifully when the object's lit by candlelight or you're kneeling in front of it. At the very bottom you've got what look like castle walls where you see 4 angels blowing trumpets. That's the moment of the last trump when the angels blow their trumpets, and it's the signal for the dead to come out of their tombs. And you see them here, this wonderful moment where these little nude, white enamelled figures of men and women are coming out of their tombs in astonishment. And the little figures are lifting up their hands in amazement, wondering what's happening to them at this great moment. And you can almost hear the trumpets. And that, I think, is what you're meant to think the 12 apostles are responding to, this great moment in the Christian story, where each one of them is reacting in a very individual way. I think this object is intended to be a meditation on the theme of the Last Judgment. According to Christian teaching, Christ would come again in glory to judge both the living and the dead. I think that's the aim of the artist, the maker of this amazing piece, that it tells the whole Christian story in one very intricate object.